Aedt 3110U Information Literacy Assignment 3 6-Minute Analysis by Tasha, Cowan, Diane, Hunte, and myself, Sherisse Richards. The professors Janet Simmons, the date November 2nd, 2020. The purpose of this assignment is to take the thesis statement created from Assignment 2, analyze an article published in a popular magazine, online or print, as well as a scholarly journal article. Then we took that information, analyzed how the topic was presented, specifically looking at the use of language, claims, author qualifications, and purpose of the sources. So the thesis statement was as follows. More generation of increased funding, diversity in curriculum, and racialized awareness programs are required to improve the current climate of culturally responsive education in North America's K-12 classrooms. So the magazine article that we chose to utilize was the National Geographic, and the article was titled Teaching Tolerance. Quote, Teaching Tolerance is a program of the Southern Poverty Law Center based in Montgomery, Alabama. Its core goals are to foster inclusiveness, reduce bias, and promote educational equity for K-12 students in the United States. End quote. Shaliter, 2013. So the analysis and evaluation of the article. Language section. It was informative and a great educational recap of the current events present, meaning the Teaching Tolerance program. It was purposeful in nature as it was a short article length and it maintained the reader's attention. It had non-technical language to reflect the target audience, the readers of National Geographic, as well as a great picture of a little boy at a desk. It was a colorful visual to support the text, and the language was appropriate for the source. Claims to have the ability to reduce prejudice throughout education, to assist educators in teaching pedagogy using inclusivity approaches, to be an anti-bias program/curriculum. And the goal was to foster inclusiveness, reduce bias, and to promote educational equity in K-12 students. The author, Ryan Shaliter, he's a writer as well as content editor, a senior communications specialist. He has his Bachelor's of Arts in Geography and Hispanic Studies, as well as a Master's in Journalism. So the purpose of the source was to bring awareness to its audience about the Teaching Tolerance program, to provide a solution outlet for those who are experiencing prejudice, as well as to introduce resources for its audience to teach children equity and inclusiveness among each other. For the scholarly journal article, we chose an article from the Developmental Review titled Interventions to Reduce Prejudice and Enhance Inclusion and Respect for Ethnic Differences in Early Childhood, a Systematic Review. And that's a clip of the article there taken from ResearchGate 2012. So just to recap, this article is about the reduction of prejudice and discrimination in children ages 8 and under. It used 32 studies, which include media and contact, and focused on the changes in children's attitudes and their peer relations. Analysis and evaluation. So for the language section, we found that it was purposeful in nature for the type of source. It was a scholarly journal article which contained specialized vocabulary for its academic audience. It was reflective of research data. It contained appendices, charts, as well as tables. And there were no pictures or advertisements, as they're not required for this type of source. And it was lengthy and inclusive of the cited sources within the article. Claims. To reduce prejudice at an early age, educators and policymakers should have awareness of the need for multicultural education, and this must be present, which supports our thesis. Also, cognitive and social skills result in changes in the attitudes of children. Intergroup relations is possible through direct exposure to inclusive information. And the author's qualifications. As we said, there were numerous authors, and we'll get into that subsequently. They're researchers and professors in their fields of psychology as well as social psychology, and they're working professionals within their fields, and their works are all cited numerous times. The purpose of the source is to evaluate the specific effects that interventions have on young children and their educational outcomes, as well as to aim to reduce prejudice as well as discrimination in young children. Now, as I mentioned prior, here are the authors as well as their qualifications. You can see that they're all experts and they have numerous publications. I'll just give you some time to look at them. As you can see, they are researchers and professors within the fields of psychology. And once again, we just want to specify that both articles provided solid data,